Welcome to a New Beginning podcast. I'm your host, Maureen Doyle. I'm a certified life coach, author, and coffee enthusiast. Did you know that at any moment you can create a new beginning in your health, relationships, career, or mindset? Each week, I will share simple strategies to transform your life and create new beginnings. Ready to start yours? Let's dive in. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? Last week on the podcast, I talked about feelings, how they're a window into our minds. Whatever we're feeling is a direct line to our thinking. First comes the thought, and then comes the feeling. And remember, a feeling is simply a vibration in our body. It is one word. Before we even recognize our thoughts, we usually feel something first, like frustration or joy or anger or enthusiasm. This week, I want to take it a step further and explore something that can truly change the way you operate. It's the difference between useful emotions and indulgent emotions. So think about this. You are feeling the sentences in your mind. And those thoughts, those sentences in your mind, create your emotions. And then your emotions will drive your actions. And then ultimately, your actions create the results in your life. So if you want to make a change in your life, go after a goal, or even evolve into the next new version of yourself, you're going to want to pay attention to which emotions are fueling your actions. We naturally want to feel emotions that are comfortable, like peace and joy and serenity, and all of those are beautiful. But here's the thing, they don't always move us forward. Often the emotions that help us grow don't feel good at all, but they're useful. So here are a few of my favorites. Courage is one. Courage doesn't feel great. It never has, but it's essential. Courage is what helps us do things that scare us. It's it pushes us past fear and into action. Another one that I love is determination. This one has a specific feel for me. It feels kind of tense, and it feels full of energy. It feels kind of gritty. It's not peaceful. It's power, and it's focus, and it gets things done. And then, of course, there's discomfort. That is definitely one of my favorites. I always tell my clients, get comfortable being uncomfortable. If you want to create something new or change something big or level up in any area of your life, it's going to feel uncomfortable, and that's okay. Discomfort is the currency you pay for your dreams. And think about this, your willingness to be uncomfortable is in direct proportion to what you create. I love that. Another one is acceptance, especially of things that you can't control. Acceptance of your circumstances, acceptance of your mind, acceptance of what is. Because resistance is just a fight against reality. And when we push up against reality, we will always suffer and we will always lose every time. Now, not all action-driving emotions feel bad. Some feel amazing and create momentum. Here's one, confidence. Think back to a time when you were in school and you're studying for a test that you knew you would ace. That certainty fuels you to show up, to try, to go for it, and you earned it through preparation and belief. Another great one is excitement or motivation or curiosity or even eagerness. These emotions opens us up. They energize us. They expand our perspective and they help us move forward. I love this visual from my mentor, Brooke Castillo. Imagine you're at a dinner party and a server walks by with a tray of emotions and offers you a choice. Which one would you pick? Would you grab confidence, courage, curiosity, determination? Or would you reach for confusion or doubt or even being offended? It's your choice. I personally love the emotions of confidence, determination, acceptance, and courage. I know that when I lead with those, peace and joy will follow. But I don't expect peace and joy to lead me towards growth or change. And then we have the indulgent emotions that keeps us spinning. Let's be honest. Indulgent emotions are sneaky. They feel important. They feel like we're thinking, but they're actually energy drains. Indulgent emotions are usually repetitive and they're familiar. They trick us into staying small because they don't require much risk. And we all have our personal favorites. My personal favorites are doubt and confusion. Those two emotions have slowed me down more than anything else. And they don't help. They're not protective. They're just indulgent. But my brain loves them because they feel safe. They feel familiar. They feel comfortable. But now I recognize when they show up. And I pause and I ask myself, are these emotions necessary? Are they moving me forward? Are they serving me? And of course, most of the time the answer is no. Confusion usually shows up like this. I don't know. That's my thought. And when we say, I don't know, we can never access our own creativity because it's just like a steel door has been shut in our brain. But here's a way to crack it open. And so then I ask myself, well, what if I did know? Or here's another good one. What would someone else do? The truth is that knowing never comes first. It comes from taking action. Action creates clarity. Let's talk about another indulgent emotion that I see that's very common, exhaustion. And I don't mean the kind that comes after a full day of work or physical labor. That's a natural kind of tired and a satisfying tired. I'm talking about the kind of exhaustion that comes from your thoughts. So next time you say, I'm exhausted, ask yourself, are you truly tired or are you just mentally spinning? Because here's what I've seen and also experienced personally. We say that we're too tired or too busy to go after our dreams, but we're also spending hours scrolling on our phone or spinning in emotional confusion. I've had to check myself on this one more than once. So here's a question for you. How much of your day are you spending in indulgent emotions versus taking action? And when you indulge, does it leave you feeling inspired or motivated or energized? Or does it leave you feeling drained and more doubtful? There's a huge difference between being busy and accomplishing something, between being physically tired and being tired from thinking thoughts that don't serve you. And I promise you this, there's no better feeling than going to bed after a day where you showed up for yourself, where you took action. That kind of tired is the best tired. So let's talk about being offended. Being offended is one of those indulgent emotions, and it's a common one. and it often feels so justified. But let me ask you this. When you are offended, are you feeling clear and open and curious? Or are you defensive and angry? And which feeling do you prefer? The truth is, feeling offended doesn't create anything useful in your life. It might feel powerful in the moment, but it usually leaves you spinning and stuck in self-righteousness or resentment. What if you could just be not offended? It doesn't mean that you agree with everything or that you let things slide. It means that you just take your power back. You choose to stay grounded, and you choose curiosity over judgment. Being offended might feel like a reaction that you have to have, but it's not. It's always optional. I had someone flip me off on the road recently. It was just crazy, and I could have chosen anger or offense, but instead, I chose curiosity. I said to myself, wow, I wonder what's going on for her. I kept my peace and my joy. I don't give those up easily, and neither should you. Sometimes we indulge in emotions like confusion or self-doubt because they feel protective. They keep us from taking risks. But let's be honest, confusion keeps you spinning, doubt keeps you stuck, and busyness, well, that just keeps you distracted. They're all indulgent. They pretend to protect you from fear, but they actually just block you from living the life that you want and from living fully. And the payoff? Well, you don't have to feel afraid or exposed. You don't have to be vulnerable. But at what cost? So let me ask you this. What are your top 3 emotions that you feel on a daily basis? Get curious. Then ask yourself, are those emotions useful? Are they helping you create the life that you want? And if not, what needs to change? And then also think about this. What thoughts are you thinking that are creating those emotions? When you find your go-to indulgent emotions and the thoughts that are creating them, be willing to let them go. Choose another emotion, one that will serve you, one that will move you forward. Remember, every indulgent emotion has a payoff. Doubt and confusion help you avoid fear. Being offended, well, that helps us feel superior. Being busy, that helps us avoid slowing down and facing what's really going on. But the payoff is always short-lived. And the cost, well, that is progress, that is peace and joy, and creating the life that you desire. So you get to decide. You don't have to indulge in emotions that keep you stuck. You can notice them, name them, and then choose something more useful. So what emotions are you going to choose this week? What emotions are you going to let go of? Your emotions matter. They're the fuel for your life. Have a beautiful week, my friends. Talk to you next week. If you enjoyed this podcast, check out my free workbook, 6 Secrets to Getting Anything That You Want. Head over to maureen-doyle.com/6secretsguide to pick up your free copy today.